Something crazy is happening in the clean tech industry right now. Companies with literally world changing technology are getting ignored, passed over, scrolled past, and it sucks because the tech works. The math adds up. The environmental impact would be massive, but nobody cares. Why? Because you sound like a textbook. Today, I'm breaking down my 6 favorite storytelling techniques specifically for clean tech businesses. But here's the thing, by the end of this video, you're going to look at your pitch deck, your website copy, your LinkedIn posts, and you'll never write the same way again. Stay with me. Let's start with the most important moment in any piece of content, the first 3 seconds. Here's the mistake most clean tech founders make. They start with their logo, their company name, their mission statement. But nobody cares about this. You know what people do care about? Problems they can feel, stakes they can see. In clean tech, you have the most visually compelling product on earth: wind turbines, solar panels, electric vehicles. This is visual gold. Don't waste it on your logo. Start with the pain, start with the conflict, start with something that makes people go, "Oh man, I feel that." For example, don't tell your customers your solar panel is 23% efficient. Tell them their electricity bill is $400 this month. Tell them it's July in Texas and their AC is barely working. Then, show them your solution. And here's the secret nobody talks about. Visual hooks are 10 times more powerful than audio-only hooks. When you're on camera, don't just talk at your customers. Show them something that confirms what you're saying before they even hear it. If you're talking about clean ocean water, put it on the screen. If you're talking about reducing emissions, show the before and after. Your customers' eyes are faster than their ears. Use both. All right, you got your customers to watch the first 10 seconds. Now, how do you keep them there? The dance. Every great story is a dance between context and conflict. You give a little context, the characters are on a mission, and then, oh no, here comes a conflict. You give more context, they solve that problem, and then, oh no, another conflict. This is how you lock viewers in. Whether it's a feature film or a 30-second reel, the dance is always there. Now, why does this work psychologically? Conflicts create open loops in the brain, and context helps close those loops. The brain literally cannot stop thinking about the unresolved thing. So instead of, we developed solar panels and then we tested them and then they worked, say, we developed solar panels, but the efficiency was too low. Therefore, we invented a new coating, but that coating didn't last in humid climates. Therefore, we see the difference? That but therefore rhythm creates tension. It creates forward momentum. Your customer can't look away because they need to know what happens next. Okay? I need you to remember something for a second because in a minute, I'm going to show you the single most counterintuitive storytelling technique that most clean tech founders get completely wrong. But first, are you still with me? Good. Because this next one is a game changer. The best place to start your story is the end. I know that sounds backwards, but hear me out. Think about your favorite movie, Inception, Interstellar. These are insanely complicated plot lines. The best filmmakers had to figure out the ending before they could build the middle. Why? Because the ending is your destination. It's what you want the viewer to feel, to believe, to remember. For clean tech, most founders start with the technology. We use proprietary algorithms to optimize grid distribution. No, start with the outcome. Start with the dream. Don't tell your customers about your heat pump technology. Tell them about the family in Denver who saved $2,400 this winter. Tell them about the grandmother who doesn't have to choose between groceries and her electricity bill. Show them the destination first. Then, sell them the ticket to get there. Think of it like a baseball lineup. The nine-hitter sets the table for the top of the order. Your last line sets the table for the entire video. When you're writing your script, ask yourself, what do I want the last thing they hear to be? What do I want them to remember? Write that first. Then, build backwards. That's direction. Now let's talk about how you actually sound when you're telling your story. This is rhythm. If every sentence in your pitch is long and data-heavy, you're creating a wall of noise. Your customers will tune out, they'll scroll, they'll click away. But if you vary your rhythm, short, punchy sentences mixed with longer, flowing ones, their brains stay engaged. Here's a tactical way to check this. Write every sentence on a separate line. Then look straight down the page. Does it look like a jagged edge? Good. That means you have variety. Does it look like a flat line? Bad. That's monotonic. That's the algorithm killer. Next time you're writing a script, any script, look for this. Vary your sentence length. Create music with your words. Your viewers' ears will thank you. Before we move on, I need to address something that's probably killing your clean tech content right now. And I'm going to say this with love. You sound like a robot.
Accelerating the transition to net zero emissions.
Stop. Just stop. The most successful creators in the world all have one thing in common: conversational tone. It feels like they're right in the room with their audience. Think about the best presenters you've ever watched. When they talk, it feels like they're talking to you, like your golf buddies, like you're grabbing coffee. That's not an accident, that's intentional practice. And here's why it matters. When your tone is conversational, you break down the conscious barrier between you and your customers. They stop questioning, am I being sold to? And start feeling like they're having a real conversation. In clean tech, this is critical because your stuff is complex. You're trying to explain carbon capture or hydrogen fuel cells or grid optimization. The more you sound like a textbook, the more people tune out. The more you sound like a human explaining something exciting to a friend, the more your customers lean in. So here's your homework. Record yourself explaining your clean tech product. Pretend you're explaining it to a friend at a bar. Would you say, we utilize advanced lithium ion chemistry to maximize energy density? No, you'd say, we made a battery the size of a paperback book that can power your whole house for 2 days. That's the difference. That's tone. All right, last technique. This is the one that's going to make you stand out from every other clean tech company out there. Story lenses. In today's world, finding a cool topic isn't enough. There's likely dozens of other companies talking about the same thing you're talking about. So, how do you differentiate? A story lens is your unique angle, your fingerprint, the specific way you see and tell the story. Imagine a beam of light coming across a screen. Everyone sees the same white beam, but as soon as you put a prism in front of it, what happens? It splits. It becomes a rainbow. Every person sees something different. That's your story lens. It's the prism you put in front of your clean tech story. Think about any big news story or viral event. Everyone covers the same thing, but some people cover it from one angle, while others cover it from a completely different angle. Some people talk about what happened, other people talk about why it matters, others talk about what it means for the future. The best storytellers always pick a unique lens. Now, for clean tech, what are your lenses? The founder lens. I grew up in a community where the air was never clean. That's why I built this. The enemy lens. Utility companies have been ripping your customers off for decades. We're fighting back. The customer lens. Meet Sarah. She's a single mom in Arizona. Her electric bill dropped by 60% this summer. The what if lens. What if your roof didn't just protect your house, but powered it for free? Pick your lens. Commit to it. Make it your thing. Hold on. Before you click away, I need you to hear this. Everything we've talked about today, the hook, the dance, direction, rhythm, tone, story lenses. These aren't just tips. These are the frameworks behind every viral video, every successful pitch, every piece of content that makes people stop and pay attention. Data proves you're right, but story makes people care. And in clean tech, you have the most important mission on the planet. You're literally trying to save the world, but if you tell that story wrong, nobody listens. So here's your challenge, right now. After you finish watching this video, go to your website, go to your pitch deck, go to your last LinkedIn post, find the most boring, technical, data-heavy sentence you can find. Now, apply one of these techniques to it. Just one. Change the hook, add a but or therefore. Cut a long sentence into short ones, switch the lens, and then tell me about it in the comments. And if you want us to do this for you, you can visit us at nexawave.us. Thanks for watching.